freedom. On the other hand, we're blessed with the capacity for freedom and ability, right? So freedom is a two-edged sword, right? Freedom gives you anxiety, which I do very well. But freedom also gives you a sense of power, right? I have the freedom to choose my future. Now, existential perspective, now for Frankel, remember Frankel said, ask not what can get out of life, but ask what life demands of you, remember? And Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you do for your country, right? The same idea.
Yeah.
So reliability means response, ability to meet the demands of situation and demand of life. In every situation, okay? So my wife asked me asked the question that, is it possible that you're always seeking purpose, seeking meaning, so therefore you never really lived? I said, not possible. You know why? Here's the answer why. In every situation, the situation say, well, Sue, do you know what is your ability in that situation? What is the meaning that demands of you? What will be your meaningful involvement in that situation, right? At every turn, every step, life is shouting at you, say, Lin, what's your role in that situation? Right? What is the meaningful thing to do in that situation? Now, every day, in every situation, life shouts at you. God calling you. Do the right thing. Do the responsible thing. Now, in every situation, you do what is the demand of the situation, what a meaningful thing to do, then every day you will live a meaningful life, right? You're not waiting until 5 minutes. And Frankel said, there are two kinds of meaning, remember? One is the ultimate meaning. What is the ultimate meaning for my overall life? Well, he said, that is a tough question. You will never find it. You approximate, right? But the key thing is that in every situation, you ask yourself, what is the meaningful thing to do in that situation? So every situation presents an opportunity to do something meaningful. That's the key, right? The next sentence, Jean-Paul Sartre said, existence precedes essence. Now, this is a well-known idea in the existential circle, okay? Existence precedes essence. Now, what does that mean? That means the freedom and ability to choose how you exist, how you live, determine what kind of person you will become. You know what I mean? You're not born with some essence about you. You're given an existence, a life on earth. How you choose to live your life determine what kind of essence you have, what kind of person you become. Right? Though we're thrown in this world, we all have an existence in this world. It is what you do with your life that determine what kind of person you become. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why the freedom and ability are a very important word, in existential psychology. Now, another way to look at ability is the moral duty. Okay? Now, Max Weber wrote this important book called Personal Ethics and the Spirit of Capitalism. He said, remember last time I talked about his explanation. Why prosperous countries are more prosperous than Catholic countries or Muslim countries? Remember last time? The two explanations. One explanation is that when God banished Adam and Eve away from the paradise, okay, and say, well, they had a toy, okay. But he changed the idea, is that, well, we have to work, not because we're punished to work. But actually, hard work leads to material success. Material success is a sign of God's blessing. See? If you put in effort, okay, to produce wealth, to create wealth, then wealth is a sign of God's blessing.
Are you sure?
That's a theory. Not sure. I'm not saying. That's a theory, right?
It's not really sure.
So effort become very important now. Effort means that in school and work, we're always rewarded for effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you work hard and fail, people say, well, at least you try, right? If you try your best and fail, no one blame you, right? No one blame you, but you try your best and fail, you say, well, maybe you don't have ability or don't have experience, right? Maybe you need some training. But you don't try, you don't put the effort, then you'll be punished, right? That's common.